3 compliments she'll never forget, and 7 hidden secrets behind true attraction, psychology tricks. The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. William James. Most men treat compliments like a starter pistol for attraction, quick, easy, and obvious. The problem? Most of what women hear are recycled lines, safe, generic, and empty of feeling. The core idea behind 3 forbidden compliments is sharper and far more useful. Praise only resonates when it proves you truly noticed her, not when it merely inflates her ego. The piece introduces 3 unconventional compliments, precision crafted ways of speaking that land with emotional weight because they reflect attention, not approval. As the argument unfolds, those 3 examples expand into a broader framework, 10 psychological levers that explain how words, perception, and emotion braid together to spark real attraction. In short, 3 unforgettable compliments and 7 hidden mechanisms beneath them form a complete, practical model for communicating interest in a way she actually remembers. 1. Don't say you're beautiful, say what you feel. Don't toss out you're beautiful and expect fireworks. Be braver and say what's true for you in this moment. Predictable praise is background noise. That is the trap of emotional habituation. She's heard it 100 times, so it carries the weight of a feather. In the dance of attraction, routine kills tension while novelty sparks it. You must switch from describing her surface to revealing your reaction. Try, the way your eyes lock in when you disagree makes me sit up straighter, or, when you laughed just now, my shoulders dropped like I'd been holding my breath all day. Those lines aren't decorations, they're tiny windows into your nervous system. They show presence, risk, and specificity. That is what lodges in memory. From the angle of female psychology, generic flattery flatters the mirror, personal truth touches the pulse. Don't compliment what glass confirms. Describe the shift you feel, heat in your chest, a grin you can't control, the sudden urge to be a better man. That is how to fall in love in slow, honest steps. You narrate the impact she has on you, not the symmetry of her face. Be concrete. Anchor your words to moments she can replay. When you challenge my assumptions, I feel both irritated and grateful, and that mix is addictive. You're quiet before you answer? It makes me want to wait with you. That little pause at the end of your stories? It pulls me in like a tide. These aren't lines, they're snapshots. Psychology tricks aren't about manipulating outcomes, they're about directing attention to what's alive between you. You must aim for empathy, not theater. With the right focus, those psychology tricks become simple honesty deployed well, timing, tone, and truth. From the brain's point of view, self-referential moments stick. The mind tags them as important because your body reacted. That is why sharing your internal weather matters. It invites her into your world, and in that shared space, attraction breeds. Don't overdo it. Be concise. Short, sharp sentences land. Contrast helps. You look great is air. You make me nervous, in a good way, is gravity. In the realm of female psychology, meaning beats melody and sincerity beats polish. If you want to learn how to fall in love with integrity, practice noticing micro moments and naming them without apology. You must be present enough to catch the spark when it appears and steady enough to say it out loud. Don't chase clever, chase accurate. When you stepped closer just then, I forgot my point, says more than 1,000 adjectives. That is the compliment she remembers because it's tied to time, place, and a real response. Use psychology tricks ethically, pace with her energy, keep eye contact warm, let silence do part of the talking. Be the man who observes, not the man who performs. In truth, how to fall in love is less a strategy than a practice. Notice, feel, speak. Repeat. When you do, the line between compliment and connection disappears, and what's left is the thing she never forgets, the sense that being herself changes you. 2. A compliment that touches both mind and body. Most men compliment the obvious. You look sexy. That dress fits perfectly. You've got great legs. Nice words, sure, but they travel only skin deep. They admire her surface, not her soul. A high-value man understands something deeper, Attraction isn't built on symmetry or style alone, it's built on perception, presence, and polarity. Lasting chemistry happens when both her mind and body are moved. When you say, you move like you know exactly what you're doing, you don't just flatter, you ignite. Let's break that down. The first part, you move like you know, speaks to her intellect. It acknowledges her awareness, her control, her command of herself. You're recognizing her masculine energy counterpart, her clarity and purpose. The second part, what you're doing, drops into the body. It breathes sensuality. It draws attention to rhythm, confidence, motion, the kind of magnetic grace that doesn't need to announce itself. That's the sweet spot where the real magic happens. The mind feels seen, the body feels desired. This isn't just flattery, it's psychology. Daniel Kahneman's dual process theory, System 1, instinctive, emotional, and System 2, deliberate, reflective, explains why such a statement lands so powerfully. It touches both systems at once. It creates a double resonance. Instinct meets intellect. Don't just tell her she's beautiful. Show her you see more than beauty. That is what separates a high-value man from the rest. When you speak this way, your compliment transforms into connection. You're no longer a stranger admiring the packaging, you're a man decoding the essence. Notice her posture, the timing of her laugh, the rhythm in how she speaks. Compliment those, because you're not just observing, you're interpreting. That's what elevates a man from nice guy to someone unforgettable. It's this subtle polarity, respecting her mind while awakening her body, that stirs true attraction. The feminine craves polarity the way fire craves oxygen. She wants to feel safe and seen, yet slightly off balance, in the best way. Say it authentically. Mean it. When you say, I see how you carry yourself, it's like you own the air around you. You tell her something no mirror ever could. That's how you attract women on a deeper level. Not with noise, but with nuance. Not by chasing beauty, but by recognizing presence. So remember, don't compliment to please. Compliment to reveal. Don't aim for her approval. Aim for her awareness. Because when your words reach both her mind and her body, you're not just another man in the room. You're the one she'll remember long after the lights go out. If you found this valuable, like the video, share it with someone who wants to build deeper attraction, and subscribe for more psychological insights about connection and confidence. Comment to remember, I see beyond appearance, I connect with presence. 3. Praise her darkness, not just her light. Men, listen closely. Praise her darkness, not just her light. Don't reward only the pleasant surface the world already applauds. You must name the full woman, the edge behind the smile, the storm behind the calm, the fire under control. In a culture of curated profiles and polite small talk, this is rare. That is why it works. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate, said C.G. Jung. Apply it here. See the whole of her, not just the mask. Tell her, with poise and respect, there's a danger in you I admire. It keeps me alert. That isn't aggression. That is recognition. That is leadership. Old Stoic wisdom tells you to confront reality as it is. Do it with people, too. See her shadow traits, her ambition, her appetite for challenge, her refusal to be tamed, and honor them without flinching. In modern life, where Instagram highlights, LinkedIn polish, and dating app bios flatten complexity, a man who calmly reflects the entire picture becomes unforgettable. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent, said Eleanor Roosevelt. Likewise, no one can make a connection feel deep without consent and courage. Give both. Don't reduce her to sweetness. Don't dodge her depth. Don't fear polarity. Attraction thrives on contrast. Vulnerability meets power, warmth meets wild, light meets shadow, and the nervous system pays attention. Neuroscience calls this novelty and contrast. The amygdala lights up, memory imprints, and she remembers the moment and the man who could see. Let's be clear, this isn't manipulation. It's mastery through presence. You must deliver it with an iron mind, steady tone, slow breath, clean intent. Stoicism win isn't coldness, it's composure. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way, wrote Marcus Aurelius. The same is true in connection. The barrier, her guardedness, your caution, becomes the path when you meet it head on. Say what most men won't say with what most men don't have: restraint. Short, precise, true. I respect the order you project, and I'm drawn to the chaos you command. That single line can cut through months of small talk because it validates both halves. Old Stoic wisdom again: control what you can, your frame, your words, your timing. Release what you can't, her reaction. If she leans in, match her. If she sets a boundary, honor it. If she tests your steadiness, welcome it. That is how an iron mind becomes trust. In practice, keep it simple. Notice where she breaks the mold in work, in play, and conflict. Acknowledge the sharpness behind her diplomacy, the hunger behind her patience, the mischief behind her poise. Never mock it. Never try to own it. Recognize it. Respect it. Reflect it. You must be specific. I like how you kept the meeting calm while pushing the hard point. That edge is real. You must be balanced. Pair the admiration with grounded presence, shoulders down, voice low, eyes steady. You must be consistent. One strong sentence, then silence. Let tension do its work. In a world addicted to over-explaining, silence signals certainty. Stoicism win is the discipline to stop where lesser men chase. Remember Seneca: we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Don't imagine disaster, lead the moment. Don't apologize for seeing her. Don't overplay it. Keep your frame. Keep your respect. Keep your word. The result is safety and charge at once, the core recipe of enduring attraction. With an iron mind, you create a field where both her compassion and hunger are welcome, where her mask can rest and her deeper self can breathe. Let's make this practical today. Stop giving generic compliments, start naming the rare truth, and do it with clean intent. That is how you separate yourself from the crowd. That is how you become the mirror that reflects her entire self. That is how she remembers you. 4. Compliment what she's afraid to admit she loves. Every woman carries a secret, the part of her that smiles on the surface while wrestling with something deeper underneath. It's not about diamonds or dresses. It's about desire, about the tug-of-war between control and surrender. Most men stop at the surface, tossing out compliments like confetti. You're beautiful, you're smart, you look amazing tonight. That's easy. But you must understand, the true art lies in seeing what she hides. This is where psychology tricks meet sincerity, where you use awareness, not manipulation, to touch her unspoken truth. Every woman has a part of her she's afraid to reveal, the craving to be seen, to let go, to feel understood without having to explain a thing. Complimenting her visible beauty is polite. Complimenting her invisible truth is unforgettable. That's where female psychology becomes your greatest map through the mysterious terrain of her emotions. When you say, you love being in control, but I can tell part of you wants to let it go, you aren't guessing, you're recognizing. You're daring to name the duality she lives with, the one between the poised woman the world sees and the passionate one whispering underneath. Don't be afraid of that tension. Be bold enough to speak it. Be gentle enough to mean it. That balance is everything. When you can express what she secretly feels but won't say, she'll stop pretending. Her walls soften. Her heart listens. That's not flattery, it's emotional precision. It's one of the oldest psychology tricks known to men who truly get it. You must understand, real attraction doesn't come from compliments about her looks. It comes from permission, your ability to tell her, I see what you hide, and I don't turn away. That's what awakens trust. That's how to fall in love, not through performance, but through perception. Carl Jung called it the shadow self, the side we repress, the energy we secretly crave to express. When you speak to that side, you become the rare man who sees her as whole, not just beautiful. That's the difference between being charming and being unforgettable. Be the mirror that reflects what she denies but longs to feel. Don't worship her mask. Recognize her mystery. The compliment becomes a doorway, not a sentence. It gives her psychological permission to breathe, to be real. And that's where intimacy begins, not in the body, but in the truth between two souls. When you learn to see beyond what's visible, when you learn these psychology tricks and use them with honesty and warmth, you don't just make her feel wanted, you make her feel understood. And that, my friend, is the secret of female psychology, the hidden formula of how to fall in love and stay unforgettable forever. If this opened your eyes, like the video, share it and subscribe for more deep psychological insights. Comment to remember, real attraction begins when you see the parts she hides and don't turn away. 5. Make her feel seen, not desired. Desire is cheap. Every man has it, every woman knows it. In today's world, women swim in a sea of attention, likes, heart emojis, winks, comments, and hollow compliments. Everyone wants something, but very few see anything. That's where the high value man stands apart. He doesn't chase attention, he commands awareness. Being seen, truly observed, studied, and understood is now a rare luxury. And it's the gateway to authentic connection. To make a woman feel seen is to notice what others miss, the intelligence behind her timing, the subtle restraint in her expression, the story that hides behind her silence. It's to say, you read people before they speak. I can tell you carry that quietly, but it's sharp. That's not a line. It's recognition. It's not about beauty, it's about perception. From a psychological lens, this hits a higher level on Maslow's hierarchy, esteem through understanding. She doesn't just feel admired, she feels known. Women, especially those who've weathered years of superficial attention, build emotional armor. Compliments bounce off like arrows hitting steel. But when a man looks past the surface, when he sees the mind beneath the mirror, it disarms her. That's the secret psychology of attraction most men never master. Because when your words reflect observation, not neediness, you flip the script. You create emotional contrast, soft yet sharp, curious yet grounded, admiring yet detached. That's the art of masculine energy, calm, confident, and anchored in reality. And here's the twist. The power lies in intent neutrality. You're not saying it to seduce. You're not saying it to score points. You're simply describing what's real, what your awareness has caught. That calm, centered energy signals safety, not pressure. Trust, not tension. According to attachment theory, that sense of safety is the foundation of real attraction. It's not fireworks, it's magnetism. The kind that lingers. The kind that makes her remember. To make her feel seen, you must listen beyond words. You must reflect what others overlook. Desire appeals to biology. Recognition appeals to the soul. And when a woman feels both safe and understood, her attraction doesn't just grow, it roots. It becomes memory, emotion, story. That's what separates a boy chasing beauty from a high-value man who knows how to attract women with depth, not display. So don't be the man who looks. Be the man who notices. Don't desire her for what she shows. See her for what she hides. That right there is the difference between momentary attention and unforgettable connection. 6. Say what no other man dares to say. In a world drowning in politeness and empty charm, be the man who dares to speak the truth others hide from. That's how real attraction begins, with courage, not compliance. Every man wants to be remembered, but few understand that women never forget the one who speaks from a place of calm, fearless authenticity. In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act, George Orwell once said, and that's your edge. The magnetic man doesn't rehearse his words for approval. He speaks with an iron mind and an unshakable presence. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us, strength is not in pleasing everyone, but in standing firm when the world trembles. When you express what you truly see and feel, without aggression, without apology, you become a storm wrapped in silence. That's Stoicism win. That's power. Most men are too eager to be liked, trimming their truth until nothing remains but politeness, the language of fear. Don't be that man. Speak clean. Speak real. Speak without the need for validation. When you say something like, I don't trust people who try too hard to impress, you're not criticizing, you're revealing how deeply you perceive. You're giving her a challenge, a mirror. You're saying, I'm not here to flatter your mask. I want to see your soul. That's not arrogance, it's presence. The amygdala responds to emotional sharpness. Psychology proves that authenticity activates attention. A man who speaks boldly sparks the brain's emotional center, creating connection through contrast. She won't forget you because you've awakened her alertness. True attraction isn't built on empty compliments, it's built on psychological gravity. When your words carry weight, your energy commands the moment. You must understand this. Women remember the man who doesn't flinch, the one who looks through illusions and names the truth, the one who doesn't back down when silence gets uncomfortable. That is emotional mastery. That is old Stoic wisdom in motion. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." So say what is true, and say it like a man who owns his breath, his mind, his world. Let's be clear, honesty is not cruelty. It's clarity. It's confidence. It's control. A man with an iron mind knows that truth builds attraction faster than flattery ever could. Most will seek approval. You must seek authenticity. Most will sugarcoat. You must speak steel. Most will fear tension. You must command it. Tension isn't danger. It's desire disguised. Learn to sit in it. Learn to breathe through it. That is Stoicism win. That is how a man separates himself from the crowd of performers. In modern life, men are rewarded for playing safe, for smiling on cue, agreeing on command, and hiding their real thoughts. Don't. That comfort is a cage. Women feel it instantly, the difference between a man who stands on truth and one who folds for approval. When you live by old Stoic wisdom, when you cultivate an iron mind, you stop chasing and start magnetizing. Your words carry gravity because they're forged in stillness, not anxiety. Speak few words, but make every one count. Power is never in volume, it's in conviction. Remember this. She won't remember the man who complimented her beauty like 100 others did. She'll remember the one who looked at her and said something no one else dared to, something true, something bold, something real. You must become that man. Don't flatter. Don't fumble. Don't fake it. Let your honesty be your edge, your composure your weapon, your silence your strength. This is how you win, not by chasing, not by charming, but by mastering yourself. That's the final secret behind attraction. It's not about her. It's about you. Be the calm in chaos. Be the truth in noise. Be the man who dares. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 7. The power of scarcity and compliments. Scarcity is magnetic. In psychology, it's the golden rule of value. People want what feels rare, what isn't easily found or freely given. Robert Cialdini called it the scarcity principle, but let's make it real. The same rule that sells diamonds also fuels desire. It's not just about products, it's about people, words, and the power they carry. When you pour out compliments like loose change, you drain them of worth. Constant validation turns affection into background noise, soft, forgettable, and meaningless. A woman who hears "you're beautiful" every hour stops believing it. Her mind files it under static. But the man who holds his praise, who studies her quietly, who waits for that one thing that genuinely stirs him, that man speaks with gravity. When he finally says, "The way your mind works," that's rare. It lands like a lightning strike. It's not flattery, it's truth wrapped in restraint. That's how female psychology works. She feels your energy before she hears your words. Overpraise smells like performance. Sincerity feels like discovery. The psychology tricks that work best aren't manipulations, they're awareness. You must see her before you speak to her. And when you do, speak with precision. Don't hand out recycled lines. Give her something tailored, something that proves you noticed what others missed. That's how you make her remember. That's how you show her that your words are a luxury, not a habit. From a neurological standpoint, this isn't romance fluff, it's dopamine science. The brain lights up when something unpredictable yet meaningful happens. A rare compliment, delivered at the right time, activates pleasure centers in ways that endless praise never could. It's how attraction becomes memory. It's how she starts wondering why your words echo long after you've stopped talking. And here's the real trick behind how to fall in love. Don't flood her with emotion. Let her crave the next drop. Scarcity doesn't mean silence. It means substance. Be the man who doesn't rush to fill every silence. That quiet confidence, it's intoxicating. It tells her you're not desperate for approval, that you don't need to chase validation because you are validation. This balance, calm restraint, and sharp attention is pure psychology tricks at work. It's what attraction psychology calls masculine presence, the aura that says, I see you, but I'm not lost in you. That is what stays with her. So don't overgive. Don't overspeak. Be deliberate. Wait until your words are earned, then let them land like truth, not noise. Because when your compliments carry scarcity, they carry power. And power, in female psychology, is the quiet force that makes her remember, wonder, and eventually fall. 8. Turn a compliment into a challenge. A simple compliment flatters. A great compliment provokes. Don't just hand her validation wrapped in pretty words. Be the man who hands her a mirror. A compliment that only praises her ends the conversation. A compliment that challenges her, that dares her to reveal more, deepens it. The most unforgettable compliments hold a paradox. They admire her strength while gently questioning the walls she's built to protect it. You've built walls so high, I wonder if you even remember what it feels like to be seen. That line isn't an insult, it's an invitation. You're not tearing her down, you're opening a door. You're saying, I see the fortress, but I also see the woman inside. This kind of statement turns passive admiration into active engagement. It's not just, you're beautiful. It's, you're intriguing, and I want to know the part of you rarely show. In psychology, this taps into what researcher Stan Tatkin calls safe tension. It's that electric pull between curiosity and comfort, the moment when authenticity meets awareness. It stirs emotion without sparking defensiveness. That's where real attraction begins. But here's the secret. The delivery makes or breaks it. Your tone must be calm, grounded, and sincere. Speak with ego, and you sound arrogant. Speak with empathy, and you become magnetic. Be that man, the one who can hold admiration and truth in the same breath. That's masculine energy in motion. Controlled, centered, unapologetically real. Most men fumble here. They flatter to please. They praise to seek approval. Don't. When you challenge instead of chase, you flip the dynamic. You project quiet psychological authority, not dominance, but confidence born from self-respect. That's what separates a high-value man from the rest. He doesn't say, I need you to like me. He says, I'm willing to see you, even if that changes how you see me. And that changes everything. Women crave that kind of recognition because it respects their intelligence, not just their appearance. It tells her, I believe you can handle honesty. And in that honesty, attraction evolves into connection. Because the truth is, a real compliment doesn't just make her blush. It makes her think. It lingers. It echoes in her mind long after the conversation ends. Because when she's thinking about what you said, she's thinking about you. So don't flatter her. Challenge her. And do it with warmth, confidence, and purpose. That's how a man attracts women, not by begging for attention, but by awakening curiosity. Be the man who turns words into spark. Be the man whose compliments make her feel seen, not sold to. That is the mark of a high-value man, one whose masculine energy speaks louder than any compliment ever could. If you understand this, you already see beyond surface-level attraction. True connection starts when admiration meets honesty, when you can challenge and still care. Comment this below to prove it. I don't flatter, I reveal. 9. Make her question why she's still thinking about you. The most powerful attraction isn't loud, it's silent. It lingers. It makes her wonder long after the moment has passed. The secret lies not in intensity, but in what the ancient philosophers called the art of restraint. This is where Old Stoic wisdom meets modern psychology. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Your goal is to color her thoughts, subtly, intentionally, and with purpose. The Zygarnik effect tells us that the brain fixates on unfinished experiences, replaying them again and again. When your words hint at something deeper, something unsaid, you create that unfinished loop in her mind. You say, "You talk like someone who's open, but I can tell there's something you don't say." That single sentence is a spark that lights a mental fire. She'll think, "What did he mean? What did he see?" And every time her mind circles back, your image sharpens, your presence strengthens. Don't chase her attention. Command it. Don't flood her with words. Let silence speak. Mystery isn't absence, it's power contained. As Old Stoic wisdom teaches, control what you reveal, master what you withhold. The man who speaks less, but means more, is unforgettable. He is the storm before the calm. He is the calm that unsettles. Neuroscience now proves what the Stoics already knew. Curiosity and desire share the same neural pathways. When she's curious about you, she's already emotionally invested. That's not manipulation, it's mastery. It's the Stoicism win in real time, the ability to guide emotion through discipline, not desperation. In a world of constant noise, your silence becomes signal. You must learn to leave space. Space for thought. Space for intrigue. Space for her to wonder. The less you reveal, the more people can wonder, said Emma Watson. She was right. Attraction thrives in tension, not transparency. Leave her with questions, not answers. Let your presence echo after you leave the room. That's how memory is built. That's how the Iron Mind Man operates, unmoved by outcome, focused only on mastery. Remember, the greatest seduction is not in pursuit, but in patience. Every look, every word, every pause is a chess move in the game of attraction. Don't try to impress. Impress through self-possession. Don't perform. Command. When your absence feels alive, when she catches herself thinking about you for no reason, that's when you've won. That's when Stoicism meets desire. That's when discipline becomes magnetism. Old Stoic wisdom reminds us, he who conquers himself conquers the world. So conquer the need to over-explain. Conquer the urge to please. Conquer the chaos of emotion. Be deliberate. Be composed. Be unforgettable. That is the Stoicism win, to attract not by force, but by presence, not by noise, but by depth, not by effort, but by energy. Build your iron mind, and you'll never need to chase another soul again. You will simply draw them in. 10. The compliment that makes her want more. The greatest compliment isn't the one that ends the moment. It's the one that keeps her thinking long after you've said it. It doesn't wrap things up neatly. It leaves a quiet spark that won't stop burning. In female psychology, the real magic isn't in giving her closure. It's in creating curiosity. Fulfillment ends the story, but curiosity keeps her replaying it. That's one of the most underestimated psychology tricks in attraction. Leave just enough mystery to make her lean in, not walk away. When you tell a woman, "That's the part of you I find most interesting," it sounds simple, but it's quietly explosive. It tells her you see her, but it also tells her there's something you're not saying. It's the emotional equivalent of a secret smile. It opens one door while locking another. That's not manipulation. That's mastery. That's understanding the unspoken rhythm of how to fall in love. You see, the human brain craves resolution. The moment you give someone a complete answer, their mind moves on. But if you leave a thread hanging, something unspoken, just out of reach, her mind stays with it. Neurologically, this taps into that irresistible dopamine loop, the curiosity, reward mechanism. It's one of the oldest psychology tricks in the book. When a woman hears a compliment that hints at something deeper, something she hasn't quite decoded, her brain fires up with quiet fascination. She starts to wonder what exactly you mean, what you noticed, and why it matters to you. That's not just attraction, it's engagement. You've turned a compliment into a conversation that continues in her mind long after you're gone. But don't overdo it. Don't explain. Don't rush to fill the silence. Be the man who understands that restraint speaks louder than reassurance. In female psychology, mystery doesn't mean distance, it means depth. When you can express admiration without needing to justify it, you signal quiet confidence. You're not begging for approval, you're creating emotional space for her to step into. That's how to fall in love begins, not with fireworks, but with fascination. You must learn to use tension wisely. Every powerful moment of attraction lives between what's said and what's left unsaid. Think of it this way: an ordinary man ends his sentence with a period. A man who understands connection ends it with an ellipsis. One ends the story, the other invites her imagination to write the next chapter. The most captivating men never hand her all the answers, they let her guess, dream, and feel. That's the difference between attention and allure. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding human rhythm. And yes, there's an ethical beauty in this. Genuine mystery isn't about manipulation, it's about wonder. When your curiosity is real, she feels it. She feels seen, not studied. She feels desired, not decoded. So don't be the man who gives compliments that die at the surface. Be the one whose words echo softly in her mind, the one she keeps revisiting. Because the best compliment doesn't give her satisfaction, it gives her a question. And when she wonders, she remembers. When she remembers, she desires. That's not coincidence, it's chemistry. That's not luck, it's psychology. And that, my friend, is how you make her want more. And hey, if this video gave you something to think about, remember this: attraction isn't about trying harder, it's about seeing deeper. The 3 compliments and the 7 hidden principles we talked about, they're not tricks. They're reminders to stay grounded, pay attention, and mean what you say. So before you speak, slow down. Notice what most people miss: her emotions, her silences, the little details that reveal who she really is. Compliment not to win her over, but to reflect what's already true. That's how you stand out, not by performing, but by perceiving. And when you do that, connection stops being effort and starts being natural. Thanks for watching. Stay real, stay curious, and as always, speak with honesty and calm confidence. See you in the next one.